Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to this meeting. Today, the meeting that we are having here, this is going to be an introductory session that we will be having on the privileged access security. Okay, what happens that the course that you're going to have, it is on Cyberark. Okay, but Cyberark, it is a security tool that is implemented to secure your privileged accesses. Okay, that is why before we move forward, before we discuss what is CyberArk and how do we work in that, we'll have to discuss the backend things as well. We have to know that why do we need CyberArk? What do we secure within CyberArk? Okay, and that's what we have today's session for. Okay. Also, before starting the session, if you guys want to introduce yourself, or if you're having any expectations from the session, or if you're having any questions, I'm taking that. Anyone here? Any expectations from the meeting? Any questions before we start? Or should I start here? Hello? Am I not
Hello.
audible? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how long this duration of this course?
The duration of the course, it is like the course content, it is of 25 hours. But when we have the course, when we have the sessions, there will be a lot of questions and there are a lot of doubts as well. So this extends up to 5 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else, anyone?
nothing. Till now,
Okay.
So,
Cool.
madam, excuse me,
Yeah.
are we going to use a VM machine or AWS on this course?
AWS.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen here. Just let me know if you can see that. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So what happens that, as I said, that okay, CyberArk, it is a tool, it is a security tool that is implemented across organizations. Okay. But why is it implemented? What do we exactly secure in that CyberArk? That's something we are going to start.
Okay, I'm coming. So you're not going to pay tax money?
No,
So,
we don't pay tax from second and things.
sorry, who's that?
Did my son stop by? He told me he was going to stop by.
My son was here.
Okay. Anyways, I got you the machine, oil, some
Whoever it is, can you
machine,
please mute
something.
yourself?
Machine.
Okay.
But you have to pay me that 214. So bye-bye.
Prepare the cash before. Money. You can see.
Hi, the
Yes.
Scions group, can you please mute
So I'm
yourself?
coming.
Okay.
See you shortly.
Okay.
You can also go straight. Actually, go straight. So
Can you please mute yourself,
wrong with you?
Kion's group? It is
I love the
disturbing
stress.
us.
You don't have to share this is not my father's road though. I already have 12 demerits.
You can mute
Who's here
madam
Where
from
first.
did you get 12 demerits?
Who's here
My
from
license was
HKR?
suspended
Mute,
because of
Why are
mute
you
this
so
one.
rough?
what do you mean so wrong? I've been rough with you.
Huh? I beg. Pull over.
Back, baby, you pull over. Reverse, baby, you pull over. Show me your particulars, baby, pull
Just give
over.
me 1 minute, okay?
Your
Just 1
roughness,
minute.
people. Just be keeping it in this version. As you are getting 12 demerits. Okay. It's 70 hours. 26.
Just tell me the different streets I have to burn at before Use my life.
So you keep going all the way straight. At the next, not this like the next red one that is
I say
shining,
straight.
you go right. You're eating 82nd Street. So Jarvis, what's our plan? Let's talk about what.
Tell me. So what we need. I
Why
need
you
some.
shifting your hand? Put your hand there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need something. I need something.
Class is going
My
on,
We
please.
talk about this
Please,
life
class
now.
is going on, please.
Mayuri, are you
The
here?
next one.
Can you mute this? Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry for this. Okay. So what happens that, as I said, CyberArk, it will be securing your organization. But what will it secure? Okay. Within the organization, we have servers, we have applications, we have softwares, we have the resources stored within the servers. So what do we secure? Do we secure the servers? Do we secure the resources on the server? Or do we secure the software or the application? We don't secure servers, we don't secure resources, but we'll be securing the way through which we are accessing this system. We will be securing the accounts through which we are accessing these servers, and we are performing modifications over there. Okay, so CyberArk, it is a security tool that will be securing your privileged accounts, privileged access. Okay, and what is a privileged account? Privileged account will be any account that is having additional permission, that is having elevated permissions over a system. Okay, it can be any additional permission. It can be the permission to modify, it can be the permission to add a new thing, it can be a permission to delete the things from that server. But if using an account modifications are being performed, that means this account, it is a privileged account. And if it is a privileged account, it has to be secured. Okay, that's why we implement CyberArk, for the security of privileged accounts. Okay, why don't we secure the normal accounts, the normal user accounts? Because the normal user accounts, using those accounts, you just log in, you just go through the contents of that server, and you can't do anything. You can't take any file out of that server, you can't modify anything on that server. So for normal accounts, you don't have any risk, but for privileged account, because we can do things, we can log in, we can take out a file, we can delete a file, we can modify anything. That is why they are important. That is why they are sensitive. Okay, is that clear? Any questions, anyone?
No, madam.
Okay. Now moving forward from here, what happens that when we have privileged accounts, we also have different types of privileged account. Okay. And why should you know these different types of privileged account? Because every different type will follow a different security method. So when you are working with a security tool, you should know that, okay, this is a different type. For this segment has to be implemented. This is a different type, and for this, a different segment has to be implemented. Okay. We'll quickly cover this. For the privileged accounts, we have two types of accounts, interactive and non-interactive. Interactive accounts will be the account that will be used by the users. Okay, the users use them, the users interact with them. Users will be using them to log into a system, and they will be performing the task. Non-interactive accounts, they will be the accounts that won't be used by the users. There will be no interaction with the users. Okay, if the users don't use it, in that case, who will be using it? There will be softwares, there will be applications, there will be machines, scripts, all of them in the backend will be using these accounts. Okay, Both of them, they can be privileged accounts. For interactive accounts, we have some examples as well. First example, if you see, it is the super user account. Is anyone here having any idea about super user?
which has more permission than normal user.
Correct. Anyone else? Also, one thing from you, we didn't interact a lot. So, have you worked with CyberArk? Any one of you, or is it a new thing here?
New.
New for you, Riaz. What about others?
I have interacted with Cyberark, worked on integrations with Cyberark, but not. I don't have Cyberark expertise. I've worked on projects to involve to integrate my applications with Cyberark.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. So what happens that coming back to the topic, what we were discussing is we were discussing about a super user account. What is a super user account? Is whenever you have a system and within that system you are having one administrator account, you are having one account that is the most privileged account of that system is something you call a super user. Okay. Any account having the highest permission on a system is something we call as a super user. Now, because it is having the highest permission, that means it is a privileged account. And this highest permission account, it will be used by the admins of that system to log into that system and to perform the task on that system. Okay, this is what it is used for. Okay, so it becomes a type of your interactive privileged accounts. Okay, interactive privileged accounts, they will be the accounts that will be used by the users and have privileges over system. Super user, it is the most privileged account and it is used by the admins to perform the tasks over the different system. Okay, super user, it is basically a common term for different system. We have a name for the super user accounts. Okay, for example, if you have worked with Unix, for Unix we have an account called root. Root is by default the most powerful account and it will be used by the Unix admin to work with the system. If you have Windows, for Windows we have local admin account created. Okay, the local admin accounts, they are created on the Windows server and the Windows admin they will be using to interact with Windows. Similarly for database, we have the sysadmins. Okay. The next example that we have in this interactive account is this Active Directory domain admin account. What is this Active Directory domain? Active Directory domain or Active Directory, it is basically a digital directory of your organization. Okay, a digital directory where the details about your entire organization will be kept. Okay, whatever organization you are having, the details about it, it will be kept on this Active Directory domain. Okay, let's say if you have users, so the details about the users, it will be kept here. You have servers, the details about the servers, it will be kept here. Whatever you have, this user is working here, this user is having permission on this application, this is his contact details. Each and everything about a user is kept on Active Directory. Okay, that's what Active Directory is. Now, if we have all of these things on Active Directory, there will be a team managing it. Okay, so the team of Active Directory, they create one admin account on Active Directory. Okay, one admin account using which they log into the directory. They manage all of the things that is already there. They create new things over there. They create new user IDs. They add domain controllers. Okay, so whatever has to be done, they will be using this admin account to do it on the Active Directory domain. Okay, so what do we have is we have a system called directory or Active Directory, and on that directory, one account, one admin account is getting created that is used by the Active Directory team to work, to modify, and to add. Okay, so another example that we have for the interactive privileged accounts. Any questions, anyone? Any questions, anyone? And like these two are just an example. Wherever you are having a system, and within that system, if you are able to log in and if you're able to modify things, that means that is a privileged account for that system. Okay, let's say if you are having your machine, you log into your machine with a user ID. Okay, and when you log in using that user ID, you modify things. Your account as well is having extra permission. Okay, but because on your laptop you don't have the organization's sensitive detail, that's why you don't secure your personal account. But any server, just one, any server that is having sensitive information and the accounts are used to access those sensitive information, we will be securing those accounts. Okay, any questions, anyone from this?
No.
No questions. Okay. All right. The next thing we have here is the next type, and it is non-interactive accounts. So there will be some accounts that will be that will be the privileged one, but they are not used by the users. Okay. They are the privileged accounts, but they are not used by users. They will be used in the backend by scripts, by machines, by softwares. Okay. And we have some example for that one as well. Okay. The first example we have here is hard-coded credentials. Okay. Hard-coded credential is basically defining the credential within a script. You have a script, you define the credential of a system on that script. The script, it is going to take this credential, log into that system, log into that machine, that server, and it is automatically going to push that script there. That's what we get with hard-coded credentials. If you don't have it hard coded, in that case, you have to copy that partial script. You have to paste it on the target machine, and once it is pasted, you'll have to push it manually. You have to run it manually. But if you want it to be performed automatically, you just define the credential within it, and automatically it will be doing all of the tasks. Automatically, it will be initiating the login and it will be performing the task. Okay, so tasks are being performed, modifications are being done, account is being used, but a user is not using it. It is a script that is using that. Okay, second example that we have here is services. What are services? Whenever we have a system, let's say we are having a server, within that server, there will be a lot of tasks that goes in the backend. Okay, let's say we are installing softwares into it, we are installing applications into it. Those applications and those softwares as well, they have to perform a lot of tasks for their backend usage. Okay, so what do? Your entire system, your softwares, and your applications, they create services for themselves. Okay, they create services for themselves, and these services, they will be performing the tasks for those applications or those softwares. Okay, Sometimes what happens that the application or that software, it can be password protected. So what do is you just go to that server, you go to that service, you define the credential of that software, and automatically it will be initiating the login and it will be performing that task. Okay. So again, a task is being performed, a modification is being done, but a user is not doing it. The service has to perform it. We define the credential and it is using that to perform the thing. So no interaction with the users. Okay. Is that clear? Any questions, anyone? Any questions, anyone?
Till now, no questions.
Okay. Now, what happens that, as I said, we should know about different types of accounts because there will be different segments of security that will get implemented on them. Okay. So what happens because the interactive accounts, they are used by the users. These accounts, credentials, it is shared with every single user you have. So the risk with these accounts, it is very much high. Why? Because the credentials are very much exposed in this case. Every user, he is having the password. He is using it directly. Okay. So whenever you are implementing CyberArk, whenever you are securing the accounts, these are the accounts that you will be securing first. Okay. And for their security, we implement a method that we call as PAM, Privileged Access Management. Okay. For non-interactive accounts, users are not involved here. There will be scripts, there will be services, and in their backend, the credentials are defined. Okay. So not as much exposed as the interactive ones. Okay. But because they are the privileged accounts as well, so they are sensitive. And for their security, we implement application access management. Okay. A different security segment. We have two segments, privileged access management and application access management. Privileged access management for the interactive ones, application access management for the non-interactive ones. Okay. Moving forward, the next thing we have is till now we know that what are the accounts, we know what are the types, we also know that what segment will be implemented for what type. Okay. What should you know next is okay, let's say you are having the accounts. You know that these accounts are having permissions. But what can happen if you don't secure them? What are the risks associated with them? That's a point that you should know. Why? Because if you don't know the risks, in that case, you won't be able to prevent them as well. First, you have to know the problem points, then only you will be securing them. Okay. So let's discuss that the risks associated with privileged accounts. Okay. The risks that we have associated with privileged accounts is this first one. Okay. It says that the privileged issues with my network. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens that whenever we have a system, let's take an example. Let's say that we are having this Active Directory. Okay. For this directory, we know that this is a repository. This is a digital repository where a lot of details about the users, about the servers, about the privileged accounts, it is stored. Okay. Let's say there is a team working on it. Created this admin account on the directory, using it to manage all of the resources. Let's say somehow this credential, this admin credential, this gets compromised. There was an attacker and he got the access to this particular account. Okay. If this happens any day, if the credential of your Active Directory get compromised, in that case, what will you get? Whatever you have there, whatever servers are added, whatever users are added, whatever privileged accounts are added, every single thing will be under risk. Every single thing will be compromised in that particular situation. So losing one credential, compromising one credential is compromising your one account there. It is described as the key to the kingdom. Okay. Now, one question you can have here that, okay, this is something that will be true for the directory only. Okay. So we should secure the directory. Why are we implementing CyberArk then? Why are we securing the entire organization then? So, okay, yes, directory, it is a very sensitive thing. It is having the details about all of the architecture. But along with the directory, there will be other servers as well. Other servers will be storing a lot of details on them. A lot of resources will be kept on them. Okay. And if their accounts as well are getting compromised, that means some of the detail about your organization is getting compromised. Okay. That's the problem here. It's not like only Active Directory is having risk, only the accounts of Active Directory is has to be secured. Wherever you have a resource on whatever server it is, okay, wherever you are having a resource, if you are having a privileged account to access it, the privileged account should be secured. Because if it is not secured, the attackers can get the access, the attackers can get into that system and he can do anything he wants. Okay. The second risk that we have with the privileged accounts is accounts are held by various teams and control of these are not centralized. Okay. What does this mean is usually in organization what happens is we have different servers and different teams will be working with different servers. Okay. For example, let's say you're working somewhere, okay? You're working in an application team. Okay. You want to install an application for some task. Okay. For this application, what you did is you want a server. So you communicated this with the support team, with the infrastructure team that you need a server for this application. Okay. Let's say they reviewed your request. They created a server for you. And when the server is created, they created one admin account on this server. Okay. One administrator account on this server. Why one admin account? So that they can log into the server and they can maintain it, they can manage it in the future. Server is created, admin account as well is created. They will be giving the server details to you. You got the details, you install your application there. And when you install the application there, let's say within that application, you created one admin account again. Okay, let's say again there is a database team. The database team as well is working on that server. The database team, to manage the database, to work with the database, they created one admin account on that. Okay. So we have one server. Within one server, we have one application, one database team working, but we have three admin accounts that are used by three different teams. And this is how we work. If you have a server, there will be different teams working on it. There will be application teams, multiple application teams. There will be server team, the infrastructure team. There will be database team. All of them, they will be having their admin accounts, they will be using it and they'll be managing their different parts. Okay. And this is there for one server. Okay. Only for one server. You are having multiple accounts, multiple privilege accounts that are managed by different teams. Okay. Similarly, like this, you can have hundreds, you can have thousands of servers as well. Within hundreds or within thousands of servers, you will have the same scenario. You will have 4 or 5 different accounts that will be managed by 4 or 5 different teams. Okay. And in that scenario, let's say there is an auditor, he wants to audit things. What he'll have to do is he will have to first go to the infrastructure team to get the server administrator account details. Then he'll have to go to the application team to get the application administrator account details. Then he'll have to go to the database team to get the database administrator account details. Okay. So on every server, he'll have to go to 4 or 5 different places to get different details about the accounts, different activity details about the accounts. Okay. And you can think like if you have thousands of servers, monitoring them like this is not the thing we can do. Okay. It is very difficult to monitor if you have to go to multiple places and you have to monitor. Okay. That is why it is said that accounts are held by various teams. There will be various teams using them. The control of them are not centralized. And because the control is not centralized, that is why the monitoring won't be done and we have a risk with that. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm getting no questions from you. I don't know that whether the things are not
Uh,
getting clear or
yeah,
are you
it is
okay,
clear.
it's fine, right?
Yes.
Okay. The last and a very important risk that we have for the organization is access control and accountability. Okay. To understand this, I am resharing my screen. I guess I'm not sharing my entire screen here. Okay. So I'll just reshare. Okay. Is my second screen visible here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
So I guess was that who has worked with Cyberark? Was that Naveen or Riyaz? Who was that? Who has worked with Cyberark?
Afros.
Afros. Okay, sorry. Okay, so what usually we do is let's say we have a server. Okay, we have a target server. Okay, we have this target server. Within this target server, we have an account create. Okay, whenever we have a system, to access that system, we use an account. So let's say we have an account created, a privileged account. Okay, there is a server, and on this server, this privileged account, it is created. Now let's say that we have a user here, and this user, he wants to connect to this target server. How will he do that? How will he connect here?
Pardon, madam. What is the question?
If there is a user, or let's say if you are there and you want to
Hmm.
connect to a target machine remotely, how will you do that?
RDP.
RDP.
RDP, SSH.
Yeah, RDP,
SSH.
it is a client used for Windows.
Hmm.
SSH, it is there for Unix. Okay. The common term for this, it will be connection client. RDP, SSH, all of these things are connection clients. Okay. So what do we do is we launch a connection client. Let's say we launched RDP. Okay, we launched a connection client. Within this connection client, we will be defining the address of the server wherever he wants to connect. Okay, I guess everyone knows here about the connection client. Connection client is a software that allows a user to connect remotely to a target machine. Okay, if let's say from my machine, if I want to connect to a different server, I will be launching this connection client. I will be defining the details to it, and I will get connected to that particular machine. Okay. So let's say the user, he launched this connection client. He defined the IP address of this target machine. He defines the credentials as well, username and the password, and he connected here. Okay, he is connected to this target. After connecting to this target, let's say he did some activities, he performed some tasks. Okay, once the tasks are performed, let's say the user logged out and there is an auditor. Okay, there is this auditor, and this auditor, he wants to track all of the activities. He wants to just check that what activities are being performed, what the users are doing.
You cannot do it. Hello?
It will say that the privileged account, it has done all of these activities.
Hello, madam, you're breaking.
Okay, if a user is using this privileged account, he should be accountable for his action. Let's say user 1, he is using it. There should be the exact detail that user 1 is using this account, this privileged account. He is logging in here and he's doing all of these activities. User 2, he is logging in here, he's using this account and he's doing all of these activities. But with RDP, with connection clients, we do not get this.
No, we don't. The general account.
The user IDs, it get masked, and account, it is doing this activity. Okay, and this is where we have a very, very important risk. Okay, why? Because let's say we have a team, right? There is a team of 10 people, all of them are having access to this privilege account. Okay, any one of them can use. Okay, he copied some files from here, or he deleted some files from this target machine. He did some,
Madam, you are breaking. We can't hear you.
but whenever he does this, they will they can't tell you why, because it is saying that privileged account has done this. What user out of that team is doing? No record about that. So this is where we have the problem. Now, our accounts, if you have different, each and every user ID should be accountable for their action. Okay, and in RDP we cannot get that. Okay, so that's the risk. But yeah, when we have Cyberark, let me just show this to you as well. When we have Cyberark, what do we do? Let's say this is Cyberark. What do you do is, for the security of the accounts, the first thing you do is you onboard your accounts into Cyberark. Your security. Logged in here, you will be asking them to use this account from here. Okay, and when they use the account through Cyberark, it makes an entry for their activity. It makes an entry that this user, he logged in here, he is using this account at this point of time, and using this account, he is launching the connection to this target machine. Okay, and machine, whatever this user is doing, implemented that with CyberArk? Any questions? Anyone?
Madam, you are breaking.
Breaking? Okay, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute here. Is it fine now?
I mean, if you go from here, then we can say because last 10 minutes you are breaking.
Last 10 minutes I was breaking.
Yes, I was saying how you are breaking. When you started from RDP, then it was good. After RDP, you broke. But you can go ahead from now. It's okay.
Okay, was it same for everyone or only for Riaz?
Yeah,
Me also.
some disturbance was there.
Sorry, go one by one.
Yeah, same disturbance also. If you same.
Same disturbance. Okay. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I'll be fixing it out. Okay. I'm having some issues with my internet. Just 1 minute. Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Sorry for this. I don't know. There was some interruptions in the internet here. Okay,
That's
so
okay.
what happens that when you use RDP, whatever the user will be doing, they won't be accountable for their actions. Why? Because RDP, it does not take anything for the user ID. Okay, it is only the target system that will be creating the logs. Okay, and whatever account is used to log into this target system, it will be creating the logs for that. Okay, because what do we have is users, they are not interacting with the target directly. Users are using this RDP. They are defining the details on RDP. And this RDP is taking their connection to the target machine. Okay, so that is the issue here. Whenever you use RDP or whenever you use a connection client, the users, their IDs will not get mapped with their activities because their IDs are masked here. Okay, and if a user, if he does any unauthorized activity, whatever he is doing, there will be no track of it. There will be no record that, okay, this user only has done this. So tracking activities in this case will be very much difficult. You have to track the IP address and then you'll be able to know that what user has done it. Okay. So that is the last risk we have here. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, moving back to the slide. Okay, these risks, the three risks we discussed here, these were the main risks that we have associated with your accounts in any organization. But apart from that as well, we have a lot of things. Okay, we don't get a lot of features from remote connection, but when we implement CyberArk, we will be getting a lot of things to manage those accounts. Okay, along with account onboarding, along with account securing, you can even manage your accounts with a lot of features that you get from CyberArk. Okay, and what features do we get from CyberArk? These are the features here. Okay, we know that CyberArk, it is a tool. It is a tool that secures your accounts, that will be onboarding your account and it will be securing it. But apart from securing, what it does is it will be managing the accounts. Okay, how will it manage the accounts? It will be changing the password for it after a certain point of time. It will be creating logs, it will be creating recordings, it will be granting user based access, role based access. Okay, you can have dual access control, like if you want a user to go through multiple level of access approval, you can do that. Okay, so we get a lot of features from CyberArk. Yes, it is not possible to discuss all of them within one session, but here we have some of the points listed. We'll be discussing them. And when we move forward, when we have the labs deployed, when we have the components there, then we'll be discussing about the things. Okay. So yes, the first thing that we get from CyberArk is managing the PAM accounts. How will it manage the PAM accounts? It manages the PAM accounts by rotating the passwords. Okay. Why should you rotate the password? Let's say we have CyberArk. Okay. Let's say we have the CyberArk. The account is onboarded here. Users are coming in here. Users are using this account. Users are connecting to the target machine. Okay. Why do you need to change the password? Everything is under control. Everything is under track. Why should you change the password?
For security reason.
So we should change the password because what happens that we are just preventing RDP. We cannot stop RDP in any case. If the user is having the password of the target machine, he can use it anyway directly. He can use it through RDP. He can skip this CyberArk. So just to prevent this scenario, what do is we keep on changing the password. We keep on changing so that the users, they won't get the access to the password won't get exposed, and they can't use RDP. Okay, and for this, what do we get from CyberArk is we get a component of CyberArk where we can define a policy that we want the password to be changed after 3 days, 4 days, 7 days, whatever it is. Okay, or if you want it to be changed after every usage, if you want this can be done as well. So whatever it is, you just ask the CyberArk, you just define it on the CyberArk, and CyberArk automatically it will be changing the password on its database and on the target machine. That's what we have here.
So, madam, there are two passwords, one on the database and one on the target machine.
Okay, the account it was originally created on this target machine, right? On the CyberArk, what are we doing is we are just taking this entry and we are just onboarding it. Okay, if you don't change the password here, and if a user he gets into the CyberArk, the password is changed here only. He tries to initiate the connection to the target machine. The connection won't work because target machine is having a different password. CyberArk is having the entry of a different password. The password it has to be in sync, only then the connection will work.
So, password will be given to us, or password, or we will generate the password.
No, it is a CyberArk who generates it. Users they won't have the access to the password. Users they'll have their password. Let's say this is the user one. He will be having his password XYZ. So his authorizations it will be granted on his user ID. He will be having the password of this one. He will use this credential to log in. Whenever he logs in, he will see this account. He won't have to know the password. He will be using it and he will be connecting to this target machine. Is that clear? Why the password is changing on both of these platforms?
Yeah, that is clear. But my question is, When the password is changed in the CyberArk, so does it automatically change on the target server?
Yes, it is a simultaneous process. Whenever it is scheduled to be changed on CyberArk, it will be changing on target system as well.
So is it both the ways or it is one way? I mean, if the target
One
server
way, from
password is
CyberArk to target server only. You cannot do it from target to CyberArk.
okay, madam, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, because CyberArk has the permission to do it. Target system it does not have.
Okay,
So
so user he knows the password was changed. So new password,
Okay.
how do he
Users
know?
yeah.
they don't have to know the password. Why? Because
So
You should just
yesterday I was logged in different ABC. Now the password was changed. So how do I know that password was changed? So they
so
get any mail or
how
something?
okay, what happens that let's say we have this user. What CyberArk gives you is whenever a user is there,
Hmm.
he will be getting his membership over the CyberArk. Okay, if he's
Okay,
allowed to log in here, he will be added as a member of CyberArk with the permissions for him. Let's say he is having the permission to access this privileged account. Okay,
okay,
nothing else but only this privileged account. Whenever he logs in, okay, whenever he tries to log in here, first his ID will be verified whether it is a correct user or not. Okay, if it is a correct user, then his permissions will be checked, like what accounts are accessible or what other things are accessible. After checking all of these things, let's say the CyberArk it finds out that okay, this privileged account it is accessible, so it will be populating it for the user only this account. But one
okay,
thing that CyberArk does, it CyberArk won't expose the password. Okay, because the authentication and the authorization check is already done. Because CyberArk know that okay, this user he is having access to this privileged account. So even without having the password, even without exposing the password, the user can use this account. He will see this privileged account, he will see a connect option here. He will be
okay,
clicking on connect and the connection will get launched to the target machine. So that's what CyberArk gives us. There will be a complete transparent connection. Whatever password is there, whether it is XYZ1 or let's say after 7 days it changed to XYZ2, it is getting changed in the backend.
okay,
But because user 1 has his authorizations defined, so he will be able to use it anyway.
okay.
And
Got
why do we use it? Why do want we expose the password? Because if we expose the password, the user can skip CyberArk and he can connect directly.
got it.
Yeah. Any further questions, anyone?
so whatever the password is on target server, it is immaterial, right? Because because target server has password XYZ and the CyberArk password XYZ, and now the next login after OTP one-time password policy, CyberArk will change the password. That's what
Correct.
you're saying. So the password on the target server is immaterial. The password on the CyberArk system is more. I mean, that is the which matter most on CyberArk.
No, whenever this is getting changed, whether it is getting changed after every usage or after, whether it is getting changed after 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, but whenever a change is involved, it will be taking place on both of these platforms, on CyberArk and on the target. That's what changes. Change will never be there on one platform. It will be there always simultaneously on both of your platforms.
I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
So if the user still uses the old password, but CyberArk has changed the password for the server, but the user can still use his or her password to get access, what is the essence of CyberArk changing that password?
Okay. What happens, as I said, that user, whenever he gets in here, he will see the connect option. Okay. But there will be some users that can have the permission to retrieve the password. Okay. If the user is retrieving, yes, that will be recorded that this user it is retrieving the password. But if it is retrieving, that means he is getting the password. Okay. So for this, what do? Is we define the policy that even if a user is retrieving password, it should change after every 7 days to like minimize this exposure thing.
A question. This scenario is more applicable for the interactive accounts, right?
Yes.
Right. So a user can use the connect option, doesn't have to worry about password, or user can use the password retrieval and use the copy the password and log into the system, right? By using the password.
No, users, they don't use the password. As I said, the password, it will be there in the backend. Most of the users, they don't have the permission to see it. There will be some of the users, some of the admins that can retrieve it. But mostly the users, without having the password, they'll be connecting to the target. Okay.
Yeah.
And for interactive accounts only, it works, because for non-interactive, there will be a different mechanism. There is a new thing involved, uh, a new component involved, and that will be used in it.
Yeah, because in non-interactive accounts, somebody, if they want to use the account, they need to retrieve the password to be able to use, right?
Correct, because in non-interactive, what happens that here we have the users that are using the accounts directly. Okay, they are getting into the Cyberark and they are using the accounts from here directly. For non-interactive, there will be an application. Okay, this application in the backend. This has to log into this machine to perform a task. Or let's say this is a script, this has to log into this machine to perform a task. Now the account that the script was using, it is secured in this Cyberark. Okay, let's say you performed a change and this change, it was triggered on Cyberark and on the target machine. Okay, the application, it won't be able to log in directly to the Cyberark and use the account. It is not a user. So for the application to get the credential from Cyberark, we have a system implemented. Have a system added here that we call as credential provider.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, this credential provider, for the users, they can do it directly. They can log into the Cyberark and they can get the credentials. For applications, if their credentials are secured, they cannot log in and they cannot get the credential from it. So there will be this credential provider. It will be getting into this vault, into the Cyberark. It will be getting the credential from there and it will be providing the credential to the application so that it can use it and it can log into this target machine.
Just a quick question here. Take
Yeah.
an example of a database account. So database account, imagine there is no CyberArk. So database account is created
Okay.
on the database by some database admin and credential is now when CyberArk comes in, you implement CyberArk. So CyberArk like account is onboarded, but then how CyberArk actually goes and changes the password or resets the password or every 7 days in the database? How does database knows this is new password?
Okay, what happens that whenever we onboard an account, let's say this is a system, we are onboarding this account here. With this system, we onboard the username, we onboard the password, and we even onboard the IP address of this server. Okay, so what the CyberArk does is CyberArk will be having a component. That component, it will be using this address. It will go to that address. It is having the credentials, so it will be initiating a login over there. And because the login it is done using this account itself, so it will be resetting its password.
Okay.
Okay, the login, let's say the privilege account, it is used to log into this target machine. So privilege account itself, it can reset its password. That's what is happening here. You are yourself changing your password. It's just that the CyberArk, it will be doing it in the backend, but it uses the same account to change the password wherever it is created.
Okay.
So, madam,
No.
CyberArk changes the password of privilege account only, or it can change the password of non-privileged account.
Only the whatever accounts are onboarded here, their passwords will be changed. Nothing apart from this.
Okay. So mostly we onboard privilege account.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Any further questions?
Just one question. Earlier, you mentioned about role-based access.
Correct.
Is it also managed by CyberArk, or it's a separate system, identity and access management system?
Okay, it is also managed by CyberArk because within CyberArk, what user is getting in there and what user is getting the access over there. It like we have the permissions to grant it on CyberArk.
On
Okay,
safe
we
level only.
have yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes. There was any question, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
that was you asking rollback access on the safe level. We do that.
now, just to trying to understand more, is that scenario where an organization is using PAM and IAM both from CyberArk? Because many organizations use different products for IAM.
Yes, many organizations they integrate different IAM tools with this FAM tool with this CyberArk, and with that, what do you get? You get a lot of automations. You'll be able to grant the accesses of the users over CyberArk. Okay, but even if you're not having an IAM tool, you will be able to grant the access from CyberArk. Right? That will be quite a manual task, but we have the ability to do it. We can add the users
So,
into Cyber. Yeah.
just to put this in context, so role-based access method um, is to provide access on the application, right? Like what?
On the CyberArk.
On the
Can
accounts.
you give some example?
Yeah, yeah. I guess you're confused here. Okay. What happens that let's say we have this user. Okay. Now what the CyberArk is going to do is CyberArk is not going to have the accounts only. It is going to have the policies that will be governing these accounts. It is going to have logs and recordings because the activities are being performed. So CyberArk it creates activity logs for that. CyberArk it also creates recordings like it records the entire sessions. There will be a lot of configurational parameters, so the files related to those parameters. Every single thing it is stored on the CyberArk. Okay. Now there will be different users. There will be some admins, some CyberArk admins that will want to get into the CyberArk and that will want to manage this CyberArk. There will be auditors of CyberArk that will want to log into the CyberArk and that will be going through the logs and the recordings available over here. And there will be some target server admins. Okay, you can have multiple target servers, and there will be some admins that will want to log into this target server. But because these accounts are onboarded here, so first they'll have to go to the CyberArk, use this account from here, and then get to the target machine. Okay, so for those users, whatever users are target server admins, those users will be considered as a normal user for CyberArk. Why? Because on CyberArk, they don't have to do anything. They just have to use the account and they have to get into the target. So this is the permission that you can grant on CyberArk for different users. Auditing permissions, account usage permission, account access permission,
Yeah,
modifying permission, all of these things.
yeah, understood. Yeah. So basically, role-based access in context of CyberArk only, not the
Correct.
application or
In
product. Yeah.
in context of CyberArk. Okay, and
Yeah.
we also we integrate your Active Directory as well with the CyberArk to grant the accesses of the users. Because if you don't integrate Active Directory with CyberArk, then you'll have to do a lot of manual tasks there. You'll have to add each and every user one by one. So we have some automations, but this is how it is done. This is how the roles are granted.
Yeah. Thanks.
So in organization there are so many people, so many employees in Active Directory, and those
Correct.
who want to use CyberArk, so we will give them user permission if they are not admin permission.
Yes. So for that, what do we do? If there is a user and he needs user permission, we'll be giving them the user permission. And now again, we'll have a lot of accounts. It's not necessary that if there is a user, he needs access to all of the accounts. So in that case, you'll have to go to CyberArk. You'll have to select the exact account on which you want this user's permission. Then you'll be granting it to
Oh,
him.
okay, okay.
Because let's say you have this target machine. On this target machine, you have this one privilege account. Apart from this, there can be thousands different accounts. Out of those accounts, only this account has to be there for the user one. So what do is you select this account, you add this user one as a member of this account. Whenever he logs in, only this account will be there.
Oh, that is what access control.
Yeah, that's what role-based access or
Mm.
access control is.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, quickly covering the features here. First thing, as I said, it rotates the password. Second thing is it grants role-based access. Different users will be getting different accesses according to their roles. Okay. Consumers, like the end users that wants to log into the target machine, they will be having the access to the privilege accounts. Administrators, the CyberArk administrators, because they have to onboard accounts, they have to work with the policies, govern those accounts, they have to work with the configurational parameters, so they have the permission to all of these things. Auditors, they are the users responsible to monitor things, to audit things. So for that, there will be logs and there will be recordings created, and this will be accessible for the auditors. Okay, that's what we do. Okay, this is a very basic thing. Apart from this, we can have different types of users. We will be like, we can customize anything we want. But yeah, this is the basic thing. This is how we differentiate the users. The next thing that we get from CyberArk is CyberArk, it generate audit trails. So there will be logs created, there will be recordings created, whatever a user is doing. Okay, in direct connections, we did not have this. In direct connections, there were logs, but it was saying that this privileged account has done this. But in CyberArk, there will be a proper log that this user at this time is using this account. He logged into this system, and within the system, he performed all of these activities. And along
From
with
this time
this,
to this time.
yes, and along with this, as like whenever he launches the connection, a recording will be started, a screen recording will be started. Okay, so that's what the CyberArk does for the accountability of the users. Another feature that we get from CyberArk is MFA, multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication, it is a very common thing in nowadays. Most common thing used is OTP, one-time passwords. Okay, whenever we try to log into a system for extra layer of security, it asks us for an OTP. Okay, within CyberArk, we can do the same thing. Let's say we have the CyberArk. The user he gets into the login page. User he defines his credentials, user one and XYZ. After defining his credential, he can be asked to go through another layer of security, this another layer of authentication. Okay. For MFA, now we have a lot of tools in the market. Any tool can be integrated with CyberArk. Okay. And whatever is there, the user will have to provide the correct code. And when he defines that, he will be allowed to get in and he'll be able to access access the resources. Okay. Next thing CyberArk does, it manages the sessions, it monitors the session, it isolates the session from any bad script, any malwares, and monitoring is again recording it and creating logs. Okay. And the last thing that we can get from CyberArk is we can have just in time or temporary access. Okay. Let's say there is a user, he's working on a project, on a temporary project, and for that he needs a temporary access of CyberArk. What will you do for him is you will be adding him as a member. You grant his permission that this is what he wants, this is where he wants his access, and you will be granting this temporary access thing. You will be selecting a date, and after that date, automatically his access it will get deleted. You don't have to do anything. Okay, so yes, these are some of the features that we get from CyberArk. Okay, we cannot do all of them together in one session, but yeah, this is what we have. Any questions, anyone now about the course or anything else?
Madam, are you also teaching connectors?
No, connectors are not there. This is for the on-prem, and for on-prem, we don't have connectors.
On auto IT?
Sorry, what?
Auto IT for connection with the clients. Or clients, what do we call the same?
No, no. For the syllabus, I'll ask the team to send it to you. Okay, they'll be sharing it with you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
So are you teaching secret manager?
No. This is basically the PAM administration course, in administration and the implementation, where we cover the operations within CyberArk PAM and the implementation of CyberArk, all of the tools into different servers.
Madam, I'm from non-coding background, so do we have coding in this?
No, no, we don't have it.
Thank you.
Anything else, anyone?
Is it in high demand in these days in the US?
Yes, we have a lot of requirements for CyberArk.
Is this
And do you
going to be
also
is this going to be hands-on with labs?
Yes, there would be labs access. You will be getting the labs for 40 days. Okay. Whenever we start the first 4 to 5 sessions, it is going to be theory sessions. Okay, because CyberArk, it is a new thing for you, so you should know the basic of it. After 4 to 5 sessions, you will be getting the labs, and from that day, the 40 days will be counted. Okay. In these 40 days, you can access this lab whenever you want, 24/7, it will be available for you.
so it is on AWS?
Sorry,
Right,
what?
madam?
Sorry, what?
It is on
Yes,
AWS, right?
it is on AWS.
So we can create AWS account and we can do on our own. So why 40 days?
From where will you get this CyberArk software?
Oh, software.
Yeah, it is about the softwares.
So after 40 days, if we have to see, then suppose because right now it is September, the market is so down, so we will need to revise. In 40 days, it is finished.
Okay, if like you have this 40 days with you. If you don't want to do it now, I'll be asking the team to pause it for you. Okay, and whenever you want to resume, I will be asking them to create it for you. This
So
can be done.
just a quick question. So
Yeah.
if after the 40 days, right, it expired, if we need access to it in the future, uh, how do we go about it? Do we have to pay an extra fee to get a lab access or something?
Yeah, that is possible, and that will be chargeable. Yes, you have to pay an extra fee for that, and you'll have to contact to the team itself. They will be helping you out for the labs extension. Any further questions, anyone? Anything from you, Naveen, Krish, Arun, Samita?
Yeah,
How
no
long
doubts.
how long are these theory classes, like time-wise?
Um, like first 4 to 5 sessions, there will be theory classes. Then we'll be getting the labs. We'll be performing the things over there. And how do we do? Is we have different components within CyberArk. Okay, it is not a one component thing. So for these components, let's say we start the first component theory, we deploy it in the lab. Then we start the second component theory, we deploy it in the lab. This is how we go.
No, right. But I'm just asking, is each theory class 1 hour, 2 hours?
Okay,
How long
the
is it?
duration of the session, yeah, that will be of
Yeah.
1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour each day.
Okay. And what time zone? Because I'm in PST time zone, not EST. So that is what?
Okay, so it will be 8 a.m. IST.
Oh, okay. 8 a.m. IST. Okay. That is evening for me. Okay.
Yeah, that will be 7:30 around for you.
So, madam,
Okay.
you will also give interview preparation questions and resume and all those things.
Yes, that will be provided to you. There will be some documentations for installation. There will be some documentation for the operations. Okay, you get the recordings. We do everything in the sessions, but there will be some additional documents as well. You get the question for interview preparation. You get a sample resume. You can go through it. You can prepare your own resume. And for CyberArk, we have certifications as well. Uh, we have 3 levels of certifications, and the questions for that will be covered. Like we'll be providing that to you, sample questions.
Is
I
it
mean, the
going to be
job is remote.
Monday?
Sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to ask, is the training going to be Monday through Friday, or is it just over the weekends? Like, is it weekdays or weekends?
It is a weekdays session.
Okay.
Yeah. For the timings, I'll have to confirm with the team once again. Like this is an introductory session, so we had it today at 8. But I'll have to communicate once with them. Okay. For your confirmation as well, you will be communicating with them itself.
So, for the market, after your course, will be ready for the admin.
Yeah, you will be ready for it. You have to revise because when we go with the sessions, there will be a lot of things that goes on daily basis. You'll have to do operations. It won't be possible for you to remember each and everything along with the course. So you take some time for your revision, then you go for the interviews.
Yeah, because November, December is coming and the market is already
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
So, we have
So
plenty of time.
yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Anything else? Okay, I guess no questions. All right, in that case, that's it for today. The recordings of the sessions it will be provided to you. Thank you, everyone. Have
Thank
a
you, madam,
nice
for your
day.
time. You
Thank
too
Thank
have
you.
a nice day.
you.
Thank you.